All right, now we're actually live. Hello, my name is Angel. This is my very first time streaming, and this is probably evidenced by the fact that there are now a couple failed attempts on my channel, so that's beautiful. A little bit of what I'm doing here, I'm going over Feed the Beast Revelation, a Minecraft mod pack that to me is probably the best one to get into if you're new to modding Minecraft, simply because it offers a lot of variety and it runs a lot better than most of the mod packs you're going to run into anyway. Before I get into the meat and bones of it, however, I do need to do a little bit of housekeeping on this. For starters, everything seen in this, there's a resource pack and a skin and the mod pack itself. I have had no hand in creating any of it. The links to the creators and their sites are below in the descriptions, including, of course, Minecraft proper and Twitch, which is the launcher I will be using in my installation guide in just a second. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into that. So the first thing I want to touch on for those who are new to modding Minecraft is you're essentially downloading a separate launcher. The reason being is because a lot of, well, just about every mod is going to be a few versions behind the main game, simply because of time and the fact that the modding community is doing this for the sake of having fun. In my experience, I've used the Feed the Beast launcher, and then Feed the Beast is the mod pack community that makes a lot of well-known mod packs, including the one we were talking about today. If you see, it says Feed the Beast Revelation up at the top. That's their name. They're really good at branding themselves. The Feed the Beast launcher itself is has been updated a couple times. I honestly haven't used it in a while, only because I personally don't like the user interface, and I don't like the way it updates the mod packs itself. I think the Twitch launcher runs more smoothly for me. Now, you may want to check your system to see if the other launcher is going to run better for you, because it's ultimately going to come down to how long it takes to update mod packs and how long it takes to get into the game itself. And the Twitch launcher can be downloaded straight off of the Twitch website. If you see where I'm pointing, there's a nice mods button up at the top. If you click on that, it'll bring you to this nice menu with every single game with mod support on Twitch, including Minecraft, which is where we're going. Now, here's what I also like about the Twitch launcher versus the Feed the Beast launcher. In the Twitch launcher, you can download mod packs and create essentially different profiles, they call them. So if you have a public server you go on and they have decided they're not going to update beyond a certain point, you can keep a separate profile for, say, you have one that's at version 2.2. You can keep a profile right there, and then you still have one for the most up-to-date versions, which by and large won't have very big differences. A lot of it is updates on compatibility, making sure that the content isn't breaking on you, or that it's not putting too much strain on the server. And of course, there's other mod packs too, like Fullcraft. You can actually also browse all the mod packs, and this is where I think the Twitch launcher really wins out, because you can go down this list for days and look at all the different mod packs. They have little descriptions as to what they offer. There's some that are adventure-based. SevTech is a pretty popular one for progression. Let's see, there was one for adventure. There was oh, there it is, Roguelike Adventures and Dungeons. That one, I'm told, is very, very fun. Exploration-based, that's what I like to do. But today, we're going to focus on Feed the Beast Revelation right here. What you'll do is you'll click this. It'll bring you to a Minecraft launcher menu, and then you'll launch the game itself. I will show what that looks like towards the end of this, because it does take a few minutes to actually load, and I don't want to spend way too much time just sitting here talking during a loading screen. Aside from that, let's go ahead and get into this. I have set up a nice little world with a couple things I think are worth looking at. Um, yeah, the resource pack I mentioned is called the Pumpkin Patch. I have the link below. I honestly love it. It's a nice little spooky Halloween theme. It keeps the game feeling a little fresh, and it makes some of the enemies way, way scarier. Oh, and also my computer is not exactly top notch, so that's part of the reason why I have it set up the way I do. Yeah. Um, so yeah, this is modded Minecraft. Lots of not responding loading screens. Isn't that great? Just give it a few minutes. It's eventually going to come back to life. Eventually. Let's see. Oh, this is so good. Boy, it's a good thing I'm not a professional, huh? Oh, it's getting better. Oh, it's so good. This is my favorite. This is the, I guess, really the only potential downside to modded Minecraft, which I've got to speak on. It does take a lot longer to load, and that's part of the reason why I like this mod pack in particular. It is more stable than a lot of other mod packs, and I don't know if you saw in the menu, it had over 200 mods on it, and a lot of that is back-end stability support. Stuff like making sure that your computer doesn't blow up when trying to render the landscape. And then there's this. I had this working earlier, and it was great, and then I had to show everybody on the internet how horrible this is. Well, I guess I can at least start speaking on some of the things, even if I can't actually show you. One of the main things about Feed the Beast Revelation is that it combines, to me, the two most important sort of genres for modding. It combines a lot of magic-based mods and a lot of technology mods that, to me, are they're sort of the easy go-to ones. Some of them are kind of specialized. Like there'll be some about going into space and what have you, but oh, someone's in the chat. Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, let's try clicking an X and seeing if anything happens. Thank you, Ruben. Last name. It's a great last name. But anyway, and a lot of the magic mods too. There's oh, we'll just keep waiting. Or I may have to go ahead and show you what it looks like when it's launching. So what this mod pack offers, however, is a healthy mix of easy to get into, but also rewarding tech-based and magic-based mods. This is probably the part where visual would help in it. Welcome to Amateur Hour. Let's see. Let's start. I'm just gonna have to go off of, I guess, memory here while I'm trying to get my toaster to process a video game. From vanilla Minecraft. For those of you who have only played vanilla, or oh, hey, look, there it is. It's Java itself. For those of you who have played vanilla Minecraft, I feel like what modding really adds to it is little quality of life changes and a more intuitive and interesting way of gathering and processing your resources. Of course, mainly being mining for different kinds of metals. I'm just going to close this, and we're going to go ahead and do the launch while I talk. We'll click that play button. And now you'll actually get to see what this looks like from the beginning, which I guess is the only way we're going to get this to work. So anyway, we have a lot of mods that allow you to mine larger areas or smaller areas more quickly, or even automated. And there are machines that allow you to process the ores into more metal outputs. So, for example, you mine a few iron ore, so you get 3 iron ore. That's usually 3 iron ingots. However, with this mod, you can actually double your output and sometimes get byproducts that may be hard to find or simply help to improve how much you have, because a lot of these things that you can make with these mods do require a lot of resources. But what you can build is pretty fantastic. All right, so what you saw there was the launcher for actually activating the game. At the bottom, it did show a sort of like a drop-down menu with the green boxes. You can select your standard Minecraft file. The modded Minecraft file is separate, and it's separate for each game. So, for example, you see how I have Feed the Beast Revelation and Full Craft. Those would have 2 different menus. And here we have the delightful Feed the Beast loading screen. This is really good streaming material, let me tell you. Like, the pros won't tell you to stream this stuff, but this is what the people want to see, is a green bar progressing across the screen and numbers. I have it on good authority. In fact, this will actually kind of also run by some of the mod names. The magical mods honestly are the most interesting things to explore from where I sit. They start you off with usually a book or some sort of introductory item, and then as you progress, you actually go through the act of discovering these the ways you can reach higher knowledge. For example, one that is pretty popular amongst the modded Minecraft community is Thaumcraft. It has gone through quite a noticeable change. If anyone has actually played Thaumcraft in the past, it has pretty much done away with a lot of the, I guess, nitty-gritty, and has changed itself to be a bit more streamlined and, honestly, I think more approachable. Although less intuitive as to how you get into it. But what Thaumcraft lets you do, it lets you essentially craft magical items that you use to perform magical abilities. In this case, you have a casting gauntlet that you can equip, and you can attach these little focuses to it, or foci to it. And depending on what it is, what that focus does, will depend on what effect you have when you cast your spell gauntlet. You can have one that lets you dig a huge chunk out of the ground at the click of a button, and it's actually really satisfying to see. There's some that allow you to create passageways through walls that close up behind you, so you can, you know, explore fortresses or whatever without having to go through make your own entrance. It's your world. Do what you want. Then there's also blood magic. The blood magic mod is one that I have recently started learning about. It focuses, well, as you might expect with blood magic, on killing living things and using that to power your dark rituals. But these rituals are actually pretty interesting. If you were to compare them to like a more science-based mod, it would essentially be like you process these creatures, their life force or whatever, into an energy, and then you're just constantly generating some sort of effect. For example, there's one that lets you fly as long as you're nearby it. So if you set that up in your base, you have the ability to fly without like any other items while you're near your base, and that's pretty nice. There's one that literally creates lava out of nothing. Before this, it's actually not really possible to do that. And it is expensive to set up and to maintain, but it can be done. It's a bit more advanced, though. Um, what else? You have Astral Sorcery, which is focusing on, well, the stars and the moon themselves, go figure. A lot of that sort of delves into finding these rare and special minerals in the ground and crafting devices that allow you to map the sky and learn of all the possibilities that you can use it for. And then there's also one that's pretty, I would say in terms of a magic mod, it's the easiest to get into, especially if you're new to this kind of stuff in general. It's called Roots. Actually, this one's called Roots 2. Um, it's sort of built around a kind of a witchy, druidic, old magic type of vibe. You can find these cottages out and about where you with like these thatch roofs, and inside there'll be chests with books, usually a mortar or pestle, and flowers and saplings and all sorts of stuff. And it's it's really intuitive and easy to get into because the books tell you everything you need to know. There's no major setup or progression required. You just have to have the resources, and you can go right to whatever thing you want to make. You want to make a staff that makes enemies attack each other. That's easy to get into. You don't have to go through these progression walls. Let's see what else. There's also just a couple mods that add fun little things. Um, if you're familiar with your equipment menu in normal Minecraft, there will be a little button next to it now for baubles. And baubles are little items that provide passive bonuses to you. Baubles can be used for achieving flight in assorted ways, as well as the blood magic ritual I mentioned. There are some that will extend your reach so you can affect blocks further away, which is really convenient. And there's some that even protect you. One of my favorite ones, when fully upgraded, makes you completely immune to fire and lava. And if that isn't the bee's knees, I don't know what is. Um, the best part about baubles, too, is wherein with everything else in modded Minecraft, when you die on a multiplayer server, you lose all your stuff. Your baubles will actually stay equipped. You do not lose those at the very least, so those can be your precious commodity that you will always have with you. Yeah, yeah, no, it's a life changer. Being able to be to ignore fire entirely. Anyone who has done any amount of mining has learned the rule that you don't mine above or below you, and if you find a precious resource, you first mine around it to make sure it's safe. At least some of that is alleviated by being immune to fire. Unfortunately, the things that you dropped are not. Another one of my favorite ones is a ring that magnetizes drops near you. So anything that drops nearby automatically attracts towards you and goes into your inventory. That can that can get annoying very quickly if you are trying to get rid of items, or if you accidentally run across someone else's area where they recently dropped stuff. It's just it's conveniences that you use what you like, and then you manage it. And aside from these sort of involved mods, there's also mods that make things more, I guess, kind of cozy. One of my favorite mods that is in this mod pack is called Pam's Harvest Craft. What that does is it adds a large variety of food and food making ingredients. And this is actually best combined with another mod. Oh, I don't remember the name of it. It's a mod that lets you make a very space efficient kitchen, and you can set it up with like there's a kitchen counter, sink, fridge, whatever. And as soon as if you click on like the little crafting table area on that kitchen, it accesses all the inventories of the um, other blocks so that you can make things very fast and easy. So, for example, if you want to make salad, you like making salad, it's your favorite thing to eat. Um, well, you can store a bunch of vegetables in, say, the refrigerator, right? And then you have your like the knife and cutting board tool and all your other tools set up on their tool rack. You activate the crafting table, you can just click and make salads all day long. It's that easy. It makes things pretty much, I wouldn't say automated. This is probably more like semi-automated. It's a good way to also sort of manage your inventory and be immersed in the gameplay as well. In terms of mods that increase resource acquisition, there are there's one mod that I have not personally delved into, but few people I've played with have said that it is enjoyable if you know what you're doing. These are like bee mods, bees, buzzing little bees. I think the main one is called Benny's Bees or Minnie's Bees, something like that. What this mod introduces is hives that you will find out in the world. And they'll be different colors based on the type of bees that live in them. So they're pretty easy to pick out. What these bees do is they produce, in addition to produce uh, um, raw material more of, be able to farm. Um, I think you can even produce dirt, assorted minerals, and all sorts of things. The bees can be used technically to get anything. It just takes some amount of effort. Um, on one server, someone had set up a very complicated apiary system to compare which bees were producing. Like this was someone who got into the nuts and bolts of it, and I looked at that and I was like, that's a lot. What's going on? Am I still streaming? What's going on? I don't think I. Hmm. Well. Okay.